Good morning. Thanks for being here. So let's get started with finding our alignment. So lie back on your mat. Make sure your legs have space between them, not too far apart. Feet flat on the ground. Back of the head is resting on that occipital ridge, that ridge where the skull starts to curve under. Back of the neck is long. That gives you a slight tuck at the chin. Arms are down on the mat. Back of the shoulders slightly pressed into the mat. On a scale of 1 to 10, at about a 1.5. Back of the arms also slightly engaged with the mat. Let's find neutral at our lumbar spine. Hip bones and pubic bone on the same plane. So you can use the heel of your hand on top of your hip bones, fingers on the pubic bone, press down slightly. And if you need to, you can kind of rock a little bit, forward and backward, and you're going to find some place right in between where the hands are level. You want to think about having a tray of marbles, or a tray of water across your hips. So you don't want them to spill onto the belly button or between the legs. You should have a small gap of space under your back as well. You can use 2 fingers, or you can just keep a hand on your lower abdomen, and we're going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out. Your chest and your belly should rise together. Deep breath in and out. One more time. Deep breath in and exhale. As you exhale, tighten up those abs. So under your hand, they're right below your belly button. And also, if you put 2 fingers on your hip bones and then come in a little bit where it's kind of squishy, it shouldn't feel so squishy now as you engage those deep stabilizing core muscles. Specifically, it's our transversus abdominis, the TVA. Go ahead and relax. Deep breath in again. Exhale. Tighten up. So you should feel everything tighten up. It's kind of like a corset around and going around to your back. And that is what's going to allow us to maintain neutral alignment and neutral at our lumbar while we do some of the movements. So holding that engagement in your core and you're in neutral, let's go ahead and start with our neutral series. I like it. It's a great warm-up for what's to come. So moving from the hip, keeping your legs or your knees at that 90-degree bend, you're going to lift the leg to tabletop and then set it back down. And you're going to lift the other leg. The idea here is to minimize any rocking back and forth, any sliding on the mat as you lift a leg. And when you're breathing through those ribs, so they're shallower breaths, not all the way into the belly. And you want to make sure that when you breathe out, or when you're breathing, you're not pooching or doming your abs, so you're not pushing your abdomen out. So the next time you bring your right leg up, go ahead and hold it here. Make sure you're stable, back of the neck is long. And we're going to go ahead and lift that left leg up to tabletop as well. Holding everything nice and tight, put the right foot down, then the left. And you're going to switch the lead. So up with the left, up with the right, down with the left, down with the right. So continue in an up, up, down, down, alternating your lead leg. So you go up with one and down with the same, and then you switch the lead leg. trying not to slip on the mat when you lift that second leg. So use the back of the arms and the shoulders. Try not to push your head into the mat to stabilize. So keep the back of the neck nice and long, relax. Go ahead and bring those legs up to tabletop. Hold them here. And now we're going to drop both legs together. But remember, in this series, it's very easy for you to take or to go back to a level you can do if something isn't working for you. So just hold here for now while I go through this. So if you have a hard time maintaining stability with the move, go back to something a little simpler where you were able to do that, okay? You'll gain that strength and you'll be able to do it. So with the legs staying at that 90-degree bend, remember we move from the hip. We're going to drop the feet down, tap the floor, bring them back. Drop from the hip. Those abs should be really tight. Now if you can't get your feet down all the way, take them where you can and bring them back up, or go back to the up, up, down, down, the single leg. Okay, so only you know what is going on and what feels right for you. So this is a little harder. Let's do one more time. And let's go ahead and bring those knees into the chest and just release it. Deep breath in, push your lower back to the mat, and get a nice little stretch. All right, feet down on the floor, find neutral at your lumbar spine. So hip bones and pubic bone on the same plane, small gap of space. And let's go back, and back the neck is long, and bring the right leg up. Make sure you're stable, abs tight, core engaged, and bring the other leg up. So remember, when your abs are engaged, you're doing shallower breaths, breathing in through the ribs. So the legs here, we're going to just extend out at 45 degrees and back in. Extend. Extend. Again, think about what is happening when you're moving. Are you sliding? Are you rocking back and forth? Is your back overarching? You might be really, really tight, not engaged enough through your core. Good. Now, let's try both legs. Again, if that's too hard, stick with the one leg at a time. So extend both legs, bring it in. Extend. Don't have to extend them too far down. Extend, bring it in. Extend, and bring it in. Extend, bring it in. One more. Good. Let's extend the right leg. Drop it down. Your abs are still nice and tight. Bring it in. Extend one leg. Drop it down and bring it in. Extend and drop. Again, when you're breathing, shallow breaths in through the ribs. No doming or pushing out your abs. Extend. Good. Extend. Extend down. Let's do one more on each side. Keep those abs tight. Use the back of your shoulders, back of the arms to help stabilize. Last one. Bring the legs in. Push your lower back to the mat. And go ahead and rock your head side to side. Kind of releasing the tension in the neck. And get some nice breaths. All right, feet down on the ground. Bring them in a little bit closer towards your body. Still, your legs are apart, maybe about a fist width. Feet flat on the ground. Your back of your head is long, the back of the neck, back of the arms engaged, neutral at your spine, so find that neutral position. Remember, try to think about having that tray of marbles or tray of water across your belly. And then you have that small gap of space under your back between you and the mat. We're going to go up into our bridges. So we're going to inhale, exhale, tighten up, and push through the heels, lift, squeeze your glutes, come up, and come right back down, inhaling, and exhale up. So maintaining neutral. Your abs stay tight the whole time. You're not overarching your back, the glutes are doing the work, and you come down into neutral. So try to notice if you come down and your back is flat, then you're not maintaining neutral. And come down. And as you're up, let's stay up. Make sure you're stable. And we're going to do alternate marching. So lift one leg and put it down. Lifting, again, from the hip, you're not bending at the knee. And it's, you don't want to be swishing side to side here, particularly as you lift a leg. Now you're only on one leg that's supporting. And so trying to keep those hip bones level. Good, last time your right leg comes up, hold it up, extend the leg up, and we're going to really squeeze those glutes, and we're going to pulse to the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, abs tight, 2 more, 1, 2, stay up, and this leg is going to just stay straight and drop down to the floor and come up and drop down. Drop where you can and staying stable through your hips and your spine. Let's do 4 more. 1, 2, breathing through the ribs. Last one, bring that leg straight back up. You're up through that, you're really pushing up through that left leg, and those glutes are fired up. We're going to pulse halfway to the floor. Make sure your left foot is flat on the ground, toes are spread, and let's come down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come all the way down. Put your leg down and take a deep breath in. And out, and just bring those knees in. Let's get a little stretch in that back again, pushing your lower back to the mat. And feet back on the ground. Find your alignment, legs slightly apart, your feet close to the body. That's going to help you keep from getting a cramp in the hamstrings. The further out your feet, your hamstrings really kind of fire up. You're not using your glutes as much, so they really fire up to do the work. Here, we're really trying to focus on those glutes. Again, upper body alignment, back of the neck long, back of the shoulders and arms slightly pressed. Find neutral at your spine, small gap of space. Let's do 3 bridges, so take a deep breath in. Exhale, tighten up, lift, maintaining neutral, and inhale, come down, right back into neutral. Exhale up, inhale down, exhale up, inhale down. One more time, let's come up, hold it here, and let's lift that left foot straight up, pointing to the ceiling. Your hips are level, so try not to let one hip drop down. So this right leg's got to really work, and those glutes are fired up. Pulse to the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that leg straight, drop it down to the mat, keeping your hips level. Drop it down, abs tight. try not to use your head to stabilize. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg up. Let's pulse down halfway to the floor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down, knees in. Breathe, push your lower back to the mat, and release the neck. I always recommend to have some water with you so you can grab a quick sip. So if you have some, I'm just going to get one too. All right. So let's come back to neutral. So your legs don't have to be real close to your body for this. So just find neutral. Your feet are flat, your toes are spread. I know sometimes I have a tendency to kind of scrunch up my toes, so just try to keep those toes flat on the mat. Neutral at your spine, and we're going to go back into a tabletop position. So let's get our abs engaged, our core engaged. Deep breath in, exhale, tighten up as if I was going to step on you. And let's bring that right leg up to tabletop, then the left, again, trying not to slide on the mat. And let's work our arms a little bit. Let's do a little bit of some angel arms. So inhale, take the arms up overhead, and then exhale, bring like a snow angel. Bring them down and around, and then inhale up, and exhale down in a semicircle. Inhale up, and exhale. Inhale up and overhead, and exhale. Inhale up, and exhale around one more time, and then we're going to add some legs. You knew we would. Great. So arms are up here. We're going to inhale, take the arms overhead, extend the legs so you're long here, making sure your body stays in place. And then exhale, bring the legs back in. So inhale, take the arms overhead, and exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. Staying neutral. You're not sliding on your mat. Try not to let your chin come up. I have to make sure I keep my chin down as well. And let's do one more. Overhead, arms around, and again, let's stretch it out. I like to give lots of stretching opportunities here. Deep breath in and out. Good. All right. Legs back down on the floor. Find your alignment. I think by now you know how to get into neutral. And let's grab the back of that right leg, flex your foot, and let's do a little hamstring stretch. So really important when we're stretching those hamstrings to not push your lower back to the floor. So keep that neutral alignment. Keep your leg up. Point your toes, straighten the leg as best you can, and let's point and flex. Good, keep those toes pointed. So we're going into leg circles. Your arms can stay down by your side, back of the shoulders, back of the arms slightly engaged. You can have them reaching for the ceiling, but the back of the shoulders should still be slightly engaged with the mat. So don't reach for the ceiling, pulling your shoulder blades apart, okay? So shoulder blades slightly engaged. Your left leg can stay bent if that's easier for you, or you can straighten the leg down. And we're going to inhale and take that leg halfway down in a half circle, and exhale for the other half of the circle. So draw a circle on the ceiling about the size of a dinner plate, inhaling for half the circle and exhaling for half the circle. Again, core stays tight. You're inhaling and exhaling through your ribs or through your back, but it's shallower than a deep breath. Stop at the top and switch direction. And I am moving from my hip, so we're not just moving the leg. The movement is coming from the hip. Good. Let's put that down. Actually, go ahead and bring that knee in. Put that foot down on the floor. Drop it in towards the left. So just kind of stretching out the front. So hopefully you feel a little bit of a stretch in the front of the hip here. Good. So that leg is now bent. Grab the back, make sure you're in neutral. Always come back to your neutral alignment. Hip bones and pubic bone on the same plane. Grab the back of the leg, flex your foot, and let's do a little dynamic hamstring stretch here. Good, one more. Keep your leg up, point your toes, and we're going to do some point and flex. Try to get your leg as straight as possible. Keep your toe pointed. Again, arms can be down by your side. Arms can be reaching for the ceiling. Keep your shoulder blades attached to the mat. Your right knee can be bent, or that leg can be straight out. And let's go and draw that circle. Inhale for half the circle. Exhale for half the circle. Try to focus on making sure that you stay stable, and the movement is coming from your hip. So you're circling, you're moving the leg all the way from the hip bone. At the top of the next circle, switch direction. And you're breathing. Make sure, just whatever you do, just make sure that you don't hold your breath through the exercise. Good. And then put that foot down on the floor, drop it in towards the right, and get that little stretch through the hip. Good. Grab the back of your legs, kick yourself up. So let's do a few things. Sitting up. My eyes kind of go funny when I'm lying down. All right, nice deep breath in and out. If you need a sip of water, feel free to get one. Again, it's probably easier if you have water that you can bring and you can sip it throughout. All right, so we're going to do some, I'll call them sit backs. I do these instead of the half roll down. So if you need to put a ball or a blanket and kind of give yourself some support behind your back or right kind of underneath the butt a little bit, please do so. And those legs can be bent. My feet are going to slide, so I'm going to go sideways. And let's sit up nice and straight. Shoulders are down, arms are out. So little engagement through the shoulder blades. We're not squeezing them real hard, but just I don't want to pull the shoulder blades apart. I want just to have a little bit of engagement. So we're going to inhale, exhale, hinge back from the hips, go where you can. If you can come halfway, that's great. Abs should be really tight right here. Pull forward from the belly button. The head stays in line with the spine. And sit back. And come forward. So everything is moving as one from head to hip. So I'm not arching and leaving my head behind. I'm not rolling back. I'm just sitting back with a flat back and sit back right here and hold And let's extend one leg, and then bring that leg in and out. So core should be fired up. Good. Put that foot down, switch legs. 2 more. Woo! Everything's on fire. Foot down. And again, I love doing this because my core, my abs just start shaking. Arms overhead. You're breathing, shallow breathing. Good. Let's come up and give it a rest. So go ahead and give it a rest. Bend forward a little bit. Take a deep breath in and out. All right, let's go back into that half roll down, or that sit back again, so you're sitting up nice and straight. Slight engagement in the shoulder blades, and we're gonna sit back. We're gonna inhale, exhale, and hold here. Take the arms wide. We're gonna do some rotation. You're turning from the breastbone, so the belly button and the hips should stay forward. So inhale, exhale, rotate. Inhale back to center. Exhale. So really your shoulders are what is moving those arms. We're not just moving arms. We're rotating the shoulders and then maybe dropping that arm down a little further to the floor. Let's do one more on each side. Breathe. Good, and come on up. Woo! All right. Yeah. All right. Let's come on to our left side. All right. So again, if you need some extra cushion under your hip, that's fine. Support your head. You want your head in line with your spine. Legs are long. And we're keeping those bottom ribs lifted. So you can't, I don't know if you can see it, but my hand, I have space here, and my hand can go underneath. So there should be enough little space at least for you to be able to kind of slide your hand a little bit, okay? So try to get your body in a nice straight line. And we're going to start by keeping our feet together, really squeezing them together. We're going to lift both legs together. Now, if that's hard, just lift your top leg, okay? So, inhale, exhale, lift, lift. Exhale as you lift, inhale down. 4 more, 4, 3, 2, keeping those bottom ribs lifted. 1, drop the bottom leg, left leg can stay up a little bit, and just lift that bottom leg to meet the top leg. 2 more. Last one. Good. Keep that top leg up and lift it up higher. Now the idea is to keep those bottom ribs lifted and the body from moving too much when you're in this position. Use your top hand, your right hand, for a little bit of stability if you need to. 2 more. 1, 2. Good. Ooh. We'll pat it out a little bit. Let's go ahead and take that leg out in front. Flex your foot. You're going to drop it down, lift it up. Again, keep those bottom ribs lifted. Try not to rock your body forward and backward. Two more. 1, 2. Good. Bend your knees, push yourself up, and take your left arm and reach overhead. Let's stretch. Stretch out that side. And breathe. the other side, but we're going to do some prone stuff first, where we're facing down, okay? So let's come on to all fours first. Knees are right under your hips. Arms are under your shoulders. Your fingers are spread. And you're up through your shoulders, okay? Let's start by really pushing away from the mat. You'll feel some engagement under the armpit, down your sides a little bit. So push away. Now, without dropping your body, try to just squeeze your shoulder blades together. You'll drop down naturally, but not because you're moving your body. And then push away from the mat again. So pulling their shoulder blades apart. Squeeze their shoulder blades, you'll drop down, and then push away. And drop down, push away. Drop down. Really, this movement is coming from the shoulders. Let's do 2 more. Push away. Last one. Come on up. Good. Now, find somewhere in between. You're not pushing all the way away, and your shoulder blades aren't really pulled together, okay? Let's go into some bird dogs. Starting with your left arm and right leg, you're going to extend, keeping those hips level. Really extend, squeeze your glutes, try to get your arm lifted as high as you can. Bring it back. And switch. And bring it back. Good. And switch. Inhale back. And exhale. Inhale back. And exhale. Inhale back. And exhale. Good. Let's go into child's pose. Breathing. And then let's come down to the mat. All right, so coming all the way down. The alignment in this position. We're going to start with our leg raises. So our hands are going to be stacked. Your legs are going to be a little wide. So maybe to the corners of the mat. I'm going to stay up so I don't sound muffled. But the big thing is you want your belly pulled away from the mat. So if you need to, you can put a towel or one of the blankets under your belly, and that will kind of push you up a little bit to keep you in that neutral position. So it's really important here, when you're breathing in, you do not push your belly into the mat. In fact, you're probably going to go into a slight pelvic tuck here, so kind of tucking your pelvis down a little bit, kind of towards the mat, and that'll help keep your belly up, all right? So one hand stacked on, your hands are stacked, your forehead is on top of your hands, slight engagement through your shoulders, so we're not just kind of slumped down to the floor, all right? So again, little bit of engagement through the shoulder blades, pull your belly away from the mat, and your legs are very active. So your knees are lifted from the mat. We're going to inhale, exhale, lift that right leg from the glute. So the glutes here are doing the work. Inhale down, exhale, left leg lifts, inhale down. We're alternating. Inhaling on the way down, exhale to lift. So the leg stays straight. When you bend at the knee, then you start using, you get away from using the glute, and I think you're using the hamstrings more. Focus on that core, keeping it pulled away from the mat. Good. So let's go with both legs together this time. So those glutes, you're gonna have to really engage those glutes, really squeeze the bottom part of your glutes and really pull up there. And focus on keeping those abs pulled away from your mat. So, here we go. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. Legs are very straight and active. So kneecaps are nice and straight. You don't have to lift that far, but the lift is coming from your glute, not your lower back. Let's do one more. Good. And let's go into a child's pose. Breathe. Good. Let's come back to the mat. Lie down. All right, let's float our head off the mat. So when you do that, your head is not lifted like this. You're still keeping the back of your neck long so that the top, the crown of your head is facing out, pointing forward, okay? So floating the head, if that really bothers, if you have, anybody has any neck issues, then just put your head down on the mat. All right, arms by your side. Your belly is still pulled away from your mat. Get your legs active, kind of kneecaps off the floor. And we're going to inhale. When we exhale, I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades together and then release, okay? So inhale, squeeze, exhale, good. Inhale, squeeze. Your arms are not lifting up, they're reaching, and relax. Inhale, exhale, squeeze, relax, inhale, exhale, relax, inhale. One more, and relax. This time, when you squeeze those shoulder blades, try to lift up. Okay, so really, glutes are active here. Keep your focus also on your core so that you're not pushing your belly into the mat to be able to lift up, okay? So do what you can, all right? So here we go. Inhale, gonna give me a little shoulder squeeze. Exhale, lift, really squeeze, reach for the heels. Inhale, down, good. Exhale, you're squeezing the shoulder blades, lift up. Inhale, down. Exhale, and down. Lift, and down. One more, and down. And let's go to child's pose. And come on up. Let's go on to our right side. So, let's support your head. Legs are long. Ribs lifted. So I can get my hand underneath here. Again, your left hand can be used for stabilizing, but really trying not to rock back and forth, okay? All right, so legs are long and stacked, ribs are lifted. Let's go ahead, we're lifting them both together. If you have a hard time with that, just lift that top leg. Here we go. Breathe. Ribs are lifted. Two more. Good. Keep it up. Drop that bottom leg down and bring it up to meet the top leg. Ribs are lifted. to rock back and forth. Good. Keep this leg lifted, lift it up. Good. 4 more. Ribs lifted. You're breathing. Good. Take it down. Flex your foot. Bring that leg out in front. Lift it up. Whoop, I dropped my ribs. So I'm lifting my ribs back up. Especially here, when you're lifting the leg, it's very easy to rock. So really try to focus on keeping your body stable. 3 more. 1. Woo! It's hard getting that leg up against gravity. 3. Good. Bend your knees, sit up, and your right arm comes overhead. Good. Let's do 1 more on all 4s. So again, we're going to come onto all 4s, knees directly under your hips, arms under the shoulders, fingers are spread. Find kind of a neutral position with your back so you can push away from the mat and then bring your shoulder blades together and somewhere in between. So you should be like a bench, okay? So it's not like a cat-cow. All right, so let's tuck those feet under, and we're gonna hover those knees off the ground, and then step back with the right, back with the left, in with the right, in with the left. Keeping the knees off the ground and only up about 1 inch. And back, back, in, back, back, bring it in, knees off the mat, back, back, last one, in, down, into child's pose. Good. Let's go ahead and lie down on our back, and we'll start doing some stretching. So let's start first by bringing that right knee in to the chest, and that left leg is long. So we're stretching out the front of the hip. And breathing, and then switch. Right leg long, bring that left knee in. Breathe. Good. Knees bent. Put your right ankle on the left knee. Pull it in. And then grab under that right knee with both hands. Pull it in towards the left shoulder. Now, that right leg is going to stay over on top. You're going to cross it over. So like if you were to straighten your legs, you're making an X. All right? Dropping your legs down and then grab the side of each leg and pull. So I don't know how well you can see me on that. And then knees bend, feet go back to the floor. Left ankle goes on the thigh, pull it in. Don't forget to breathe. You want to breathe through all the stretch. Grab under the knee and pull it in towards the opposite shoulder. So you should feel a little stretch maybe in the hip and the glute area. And then cross that leg all the way over like you're sitting in a chair, cross leg. And then grab the sides of the shins and pull. So now you should really feel it stretching, getting into that glute. grab the back of your legs and sit up. And let's bring our right leg in, sitting up straight, and flex your left foot, and just come forward a little bit. So you're hinging from the hip. We're not bending forward. We're up nice and straight. Just walk your hands out a little bit and hinge forward from the hip. Go where you can. And then come on up and switch. So left leg tucked in, right leg out, foot is flexed, sit up straight. Again, you're hinging from the hips and just walk it forward where you can. But I want you to really keep that neutral spine. So don't go so far forward, the only way to go is to bend. So stay up nice and straight and go where you can. Everybody's going to be different. And you may feel it more on one side than the other. I know I always do. I can tell where I'm tightest. Good. And then sit with you can either sit with your legs out or cross leg, whatever's most comfortable. And keeping your hips down. Actually, let's try something. Take your left hand, put it on your right, the inside of that right thigh, and then reach over with your right arm. So this is going to keep that leg from popping up. You may feel that stretch. Good. And switch. Good. Arms down and extended. You can be up on your fingertips, shoulders relaxed, sitting up straight. And let's drop our head to the left. I know, I feel this down in the neck, down into the shoulder a little bit. Come on up and drop to the right or the other side. Good. Come on up. If you need to, you can give yourself a little bit more cushion if you don't have a thick mat. And let's take one leg out. So when we stretch out the hip, we don't want to arch our back to push forward. So you can always go into a slight kind of a pelvic tilt here and then push forward. So that's just kind of keeping our back in that neutral position. And switch legs. So again, you can go into that little pelvic tilt and then push forward. Good. And you're finished. Get a nice deep breath in and out. Nice job. Thank you.